Hey guys, what's up? Welcome to the channel again. If you follow the base install of Arch Linux with MBR or UEFI and you want to install the Mate desktop environment, this is the video for you. Let's get going. So if you follow the base install of Arch Linux on UEFI or MBR and you want to install Mate, let's go ahead here and hit enter to start Arch Linux. It's going to take a moment to boot up. Now we can log in with our username and the password. And there you go. Now the first thing we need to do is to check if Reflector is installed, and if so, use it to create our mirror list. So let's go ahead and type in sudo pacman-syy and then Reflector and hit enter. Enter our password. And now in my case it's already installed because it says reinstalling. But if it's not installed in your machine, you can go ahead here and press enter to install it. In my case, I'm going to type in N and hit enter. And now we can use Reflector to create our mirror list. So let's go ahead and type in sudo reflector-c for country. You can put in your country here. My country right now is Switzerland. And then -a for age. So since how many hours the servers have been updated. In my case, I'm going to go with 6 hours. And then --sort, because we need to sort the servers by speed. So in this case, rate. And then --save, because we want to save this information in our mirror list directory, which is /etc/pacman.d/mirrorlist, and hit enter. Now we can refresh once the server, so let's type in sudo pacman-syy and hit enter. And there you go. Now let's clean up the terminal and proceed by installing the packages needed for Mate. So let's begin to type in sudo pacman-s. And the first package we need to install is the display server, which is xorg. Now let's install also a display manager for Mate. In my case, I'm going to install LightDM. And I'm going to install also a greeter, but I'm going to do this a little later because I want to install a greeter which comes from the AUR. So then let's go ahead here and install also our Mate packages. One is the Mate group, and let's install also Mate-extra, which is going to install some extra tools for Mate. And I'm going to install also Mate-themes for some basic themes for Mate. And also one browser, in my case Chromium. And I'm going to install also LibreOffice. And then we can hit enter. Accept the defaults here by hitting enter. Also for the Mate group. And also for the Mate extra. Now for LibreOffice, I want to choose the fresh version, which is the first repository, which is going to offer me the latest version. So I'm just going to hit enter here. And then proceed with the installation by hitting enter. So this is going to take a moment to download and install, and I'll be back when it's done. So the packages are installed, so let's clean up the terminal. And we need to install a LightDM greeter for LightDM Display Manager to work. In this video, I want to install one from the AUR, so I need Yay for that. If you followed along the base install of Arch Linux, you should have Yay already functioning. If not, and you want to follow along now, we can install this by typing in git clone, assuming you install Git. When not, you can install it with sudo pacman-s and then git. And then we enter https://aur.archlinux.org/yay.git and hit enter. Now we need to move into the Yay directory, so I'll type in cd and then Yay. And now we can type in make pkg-si and then package build. So proceed with the installation. And this is going to take a moment to download and install, and I'll be back in a second. So we can proceed with the installation of Yay, so we can hit enter here. And Yay is installed. So let's clean up the terminal and go back to our home directory. Now we installed Yay, and now we can install our GTK greeter. So let's go ahead and type in Yay-s lightdm-slick-greeter and hit enter. It asks us to remove the dependencies after the install. For now, I'm going to say no and hit enter here. And for differences to show, I'm going to type in N and hit enter. We proceed with the installation. And it's going to take a moment to download and install, so I'll be back when it's done. So the greeter is installed. Let's clean up the terminal. Now we need to tell LightDM to use this greeter to function. So let's type in sudo nano/etc/lightdm/lightdm.conf and hit enter. We need to scroll down to the seed group, And here we need to change one line, which is the greeter session line, which is down here. So we need to uncomment this line by deleting the hashtag and replacing this string with our GTK greeter we just downloaded. So let me delete this and type in lightdm-slick-greeter. Now there is still one thing I need to do because my lightdm will not scale properly in a VM. This is optional probably for you, but I need to do it here. So I go down to this script here, to the display setup script, and I'm going to type in xrender --output. Then my display is virtual-1 and then --mode. And this is a 1080p, so I'll type in 1920 per 1080. And another thing I need to do is to uncomment the line by deleting again the hashtag here. And now we can hit Ctrl O and enter to save the file and Ctrl X to exit the editor. Let's clean up the terminal and enable lightdm, and then we can reboot the machine. So let's type in sudo systemctl enable lightdm and hit enter. Now let's reboot the machine. So let's type in reboot and hit enter. It's going to take a moment to boot up. So we have grabbed our bootloader here, so we can just hit enter. And if everything went well, we will be greeted by lightdm. So this is lightdm. It's a little bit dark right now, but we'll adjust this in a second. For now, let's enter our password and hit enter. And here we are in the Mate desktop environment. So let's go ahead and see what we have available here. Let's right-click the desktop and click Change Desktop Background. We have some default papers. For example, let's scroll down here and select maybe this one. We can also add more wallpapers by clicking Add. And then if we have some pictures here in the system, we can add those. Or we can go to Backgrounds. We can go also to Cosmos, which is also available. Select all the wallpapers and click Open. And they will appear also here in the list. So let's go ahead and select one. Let's select this one right here. There you go. So you can see here we have the Theme tab, where we can also choose the overall look of Mate. Right now there are many themes which we just installed during the installation. So let's go ahead and select one. Let's go ahead and select this green submarine. You can see already the change takes effect immediately. We can also change the fonts for the system, which is in this tab. And we have also some options for the interface. So we can show, for example, to show icons in menus or to show icons on buttons. So you can modify this accordingly. So let's close this up and let's have a look at our panels. So here we have the standard Mate panels. We have the top panel here with applications, places and system. So if we click on application, this is self-explanatory. We'll see the list of categories here and we can scroll through and see what's in there. We have also our places, which are basically the home directories for our computer. And we have also the system menu, which is going to take care of our system preferences and also is going to allow us to shut down the machine. So let's go ahead here and click Control Center. And here is the Control Center for Mate. So we have some categories here to take care of our look and feel. So let's go ahead and click Appearance. This is going to bring us back to the same menu we saw before when we changed the background. So we can close from here. We have also main menu. This is a menu editor for Mate. So here we can, for example, create a new menu, create a new separator, and so on. This is very customizable and it's nice to have it out of the box. If you do some changes and you don't like them or you want to return to the default menu, you can always click Revert. So let's close this. We can change also our pop-up notifications. Right now we have the theme here selected. We can change it if we want to. And we have also the position. Right now is on the top right. And by clicking preview, you see how it looks like. We can close. We have also our screensaver available. Right now it's a blank screen, but we can change this, for example, to floating Mate. And this is how it would look like. So we'll keep this as is and click close. We have also a Windows tab. The window manager in Mate is called Marco, and it's also a compositor, which is already enabled by default. So here you can see, for example, compositing manager, it's already enabled. You can also change the placement of the title bar buttons. Right now it's on the right. Then we have some options also for the behavior. So what to do, for example, when we double click the title bar. And also we have the placement of the new windows and for the Windows mapping. So let's close this up and let's close the control center. We have our system tray where we have here our date, our network interface and our sound setting. And we have also a bottom panel with the workspaces. Here will appear the window list if we open up the File Explorer. you'll see the window list appear down here. And if you have too many windows open and you want to see the desktop, you can click this button and it will hide the windows. So we can of course change these panels. We can of course remove them. We can have also only one panel. We'll look at this in a second. So let's close the File Explorer and let's open up the terminal. Let's go to Applications, System Tools, and then Mate Terminal. Let me increase the font size here so that you can see better. Let's install one tool which allows us to tweak the system a little bit more. Let's type in yay, because it's a package from the AUR-S, and then mate-tweak, and hit enter. So we can choose the repository here. I'm going with the default number 1 and hit enter. Remove dependencies after install. I'll say no for now. And differences to show none and hit enter. Proceed with the installation. It's going to take a moment to download and install, so I'll be back in a second. And there you go, that's installed. So let's close the terminal. So let's go back to our control center, which is under System, and then Control Center. And you can see we have now a Mate Tweak tool available to us. So let's click this. So you can see what's available in here. We can choose, for example, to show or hide the desktop icons. We can also go to the Panel tab, and we can choose also how the panel will look. For example, right now it's GNOME 2. We can choose, for example, from the drop-down here, Fedora, and click OK. And you can see it changes a little bit the look, although I don't particularly like this. So let's go back to the previous one and click GNOME 2 and click OK again. You see the layout stays the same. So what we can do here to adjust this is to right-click the panel and click Reset Panel and click Reset Panel again. Now we can show, for example, also applications or not. We can uncheck this option and the application menu is gone. Or we can also uncheck the other two if we don't like them. We can also define the size of the icons. And we have also some extra features for the panels, although some of them are grayed out, but we're going to fix this in a moment. Under Windows, we have also some options that we can adjust. For example, if you have an IDPI display, we can adjust it by going here to Hide DPI. So let's close this up. So how do we install more themes for Mate? Well, there are many ways we can do that. And of course, one of the easiest one is to do it from the Arch main repository or the Arch user repository. So let me close this. And let's open up Chromium that we just installed. So we go to Internet and then Chromium and maximize the window. And let's go to the Arch Linux website. And let's type in the search package here, theme, and hit enter. So we have several themes we can install. We can install, for example, this GTK theme, ArcGTK. We have also the Adapta GTK theme. Let's go ahead and install this. Let's open up the applications and go to System Tools and Terminal. Again, I'll bump up the fonts and let's install it with sudo pacman-s. I'm going to install the Adapta theme, so I'll type in adapta-gtk-theme and hit enter. Enter the sudo password and proceed with the installation, and that's installed. So we can go back to our system and control center. Go back to appearance and let's scroll up here and we see we have the Adapta theme available to us. We have several variations of it. Now let's click, for example, this Adapta Noctua. And there you go. Now we apply this style overall. If we minimize these windows, let's close the terminal and minimize the browser too. You see it changed also the icons, it changed also the colors and also the fonts of the system. Well, let's go back to the browser and install also our ArcGTK theme. So let's pull up again the terminal. System Tools, Mate Terminal. Bump up the font and I'll type in sudo pacman-s arc-gtk-theme. And I'm going to install also the icons while I'm at it. So I'll type in here arc-icon-theme and hit enter. Enter the sudo password and proceed with the installation. It's going to take a moment to do that. There you go. So we can close the terminal, minimize the window. Let's go back to our control center and let's go to appearance and let's see what we have. We have here Arc Dark, for example. Let's click this and we have a different look and feel. So we have a warning here saying this theme will not look as intended because the required icon theme GNOME is not installed. That's okay. We can install the GNOME icon theme if we want to, but it's not absolutely necessary. In fact, we can customize this theme to our liking by clicking Customize. And here we can choose our controls for the window. So for example, right now it's matching the Arc Dark and I'll let this as it is. The same goes also for window border. And for icons, we have at the moment here a selection of icons, and the gnome icon is looked for, but it's not there. But we could choose, for example, to go with the arc icons, which is matching the theme. So let's click this. And now we have a matching theme also for the colors. We have also some options for the pointer. And right now we have some of them already installed, and I'm using right now the DMZ black, which is fine for me. So we can close this up and we can close out of this window. Let's close this and let's check our panel. As you see, it looks very coherent also with the other panels, and it looks very elegant. If some of these icons don't appear correctly on your display, you might have to log out once and log in again for the changes to take effect. So let's go back to our terminal. Let's open it up by going to Applications again, and then System Tools, Terminal. I want to install my favorite icon theme, which is the Papyrus icon theme. So I'll type in sudo pacman-s papyrus-icon-theme and hit enter. Enter our sudo password and proceed with the installation. It's going to take a moment to do that. There you go. Let's go back to the control center. Right here, Appearance. I'm going to go with the custom menu and click Customize. And under icons, I can choose my Papyrus icons here, and then the icons are applied. So we can close this and close out of the control center. Now, if you don't like this way of working with Mate with this menu, we can install what's called the Brisk menu. The Brisk menu, it's a menu actually developed by Solus for the Solus Linux distribution, but we can use it also here in Mate. So let's go to the terminal and clean it up. We can install the Brisk menu from the AUR. So let's type in yay-s brisk-menu and hit enter. We'll select here the first repository by hitting enter. And I will not remove the dependency by hitting enter. Difference is to show none and hit enter. And proceed with the installation. So it's going to take a second here to download and install. And the menu is installed. So we can close this up. Now, how do we install the menu? Well, it's fairly simple. We can go to the top panel, right click, and click Add to Panel. Here we can choose what we want to add to the panel. As you can see, we have different applets we can use. We have also the lock screen applet, we have a force quit applet, we have a logout, and so on. But on the top, we have also the Brisk menu. So we can click this and click Add. And you can see it appears up here. So let's close this window. Now we can click the menu and you see how it looks like. It's a little bit more modern than the Mate menu. It offers a search box here on top, and we can scroll through here the categories and see what's in there. And we have also our power menu here on the bottom. So if you prefer to have this menu instead of the traditional menu, we can remove this by right-clicking on it and click Remove from Panel. Then we can right-click on the Brisk menu and click Move. And now we can move it on position there. There you go. And now we can click it. We have there our menu. Now, as I said before, we have the two panels which are standard in Mate. We can right-click on these panels and go to Properties. We can change also its size. Let's say, for example, we want to go to 30. We can bump this up. We can also put it on another corner of the display if you don't like to have it on the top. What happens here is that we have the menu up here and we have the window list on the bottom. We could also add the window list here on top on this panel if we want to. We can right-click here and click Add to Panel. And then we can scroll down to the list until we find here Window List and click it and then click Add. And you'll see the window list appears also up here. So we can close this. We can grab these three dots and move it this way so that we have it on the beginning of the panel. Well, let's move it a little bit more on the right because I want to show you there is a way also how we can pin applications here on this taskbar. So let's click the menu and let's go, for example, to Internet and right click on Chromium. So here we can actually pin it to the favorites, which is up here. We can also pin it to the desktop, or we can grab the icon and put it here on the taskbar. And now we have it available for us. Now, this is not working like a dock. If I click this window, it's going to open a new window here on the taskbar, but it's a shortcut to have it there handy on the panel. So let me close this up. There is another way we can actually arrange apps. So let me delete this icon by right-clicking and click Remove from Panel. I'm going to let this as it is. And let's go back to our terminal. And let's install a dock, which looks very nice also in Mate. Let me increase the font size. And let's type in sudo pacman-s. And the dock is called Plank. And hit enter. We can proceed with installation by hitting enter. And the dock is installed. So let's close this up. And let's go to our menu and type in here Plank. And select it here from the list. And now we have our dock here. We can of course customize it, but first let me remove this panel by right-clicking and clicking delete this panel and click delete. Now we can right-click here on the right side of the dock and click preferences. Now we can define also its size and its theme. Let's go to theme and click, for example, adapter. So it has a different look, but it's not really that different. So let's change it, for example, to transparent. We can also say we don't want to have it center, we want to have it maybe at the beginning on the left of the screen, so we can click start and it goes down here. Well, let's go back to the center. We can also change the icon size and also we can activate the icon zoom and then it's going to zoom like that. And we can also increase or decrease the size of the zoom. We have also some options in behavior. That means if I open a window and I'm going to go over to the dock, it's going to disappear. We can close this up. And we can also change here the high delay and also some other options. Under docklets, we have some things we can put into the dock to have them always available to us. But I don't need anything right now, so I can close out of it. I can remove this icon because it's doubled. Now, it doesn't look particularly beautiful, but we are going to customize this further in a second. Now, we need to take care also of our login screen. Remember, it was very black when we turned on the machine. So let's go back to our menu and go to Control Center here. So we have no option here to configure the login screen. And that's because we need to install another package from the AUR. So let's close this up, go back to Menu, System Tools, and let's open our terminal. And let's type in EA-S, and the tool is called lightdm-settings, and hit enter. Now difference is to show none and hit enter, and enter our sudo password, and proceed with installation. It's going to take a moment to do that. And there you go. So we can close the terminal and go back to our control center. And now we have a login window administration option here. So let's click this. We need to enter our sudo password. And now we can configure some things. So for example, we can configure the background. Let's click this option. And let's go under backgrounds here. And let's go to, for example, Cosmos. And I'm going to take this marble picture, which is fine to me. So I'll just click open. Background color is fine. For the GTK theme, I'm going to choose the same Arc Dark we have right now here. So I'm going to choose Arc Dark. And for the icon theme, I'm going to go again with Papyrus Dark. And while I'm at it, actually, I can change also to the Papyrus Dark in our icon theme because I think it's not the dark version right now. So let me go to Customize very quickly, then down to Icons and then Papyrus Dark. Then it looks much better. There you go. So let's close this up. And let's close also here up. Now we can go to Users and select, for example, to manual login, or we can also enable automatic login if you want that. And under settings, we have some other things we can change, for example, to show the host name and other things. So this should do it. So let's go ahead and close this window, go to the menu and click Logout and see how it looks like. And there you go. So this looks much better. So we have the picture here on the background and we have our login prompt here on the side. It shows my username. It doesn't display my full name, but we will fix this in a moment. So let's enter our password and hit enter. Let's go back shortly to our control center and let's see how we can change our profile. We have an About Me section here, so let's click. And here I can see I can change my password and I can change also my avatar, but I cannot change my name. So that's fine for me, but if you want, for example, to add more users, right now you would have to do it via the terminal. We can change this by installing a package from the AUR. Let's close this up and close the window. Go back to our system tools and then terminal. And we can type in EA-S and the package is gnome-system-tools and hit enter. Remove dependencies, no, and differences to show, no, and hit enter. Enter our sudo password and proceed with installation. So this is going to take some time to download and install, and I'll be back when it's done. And there you go, the package is installed. So we can close the terminal, go back to our menu and go to Control Center. And here we have under administration now also users and groups. So let's click this. And here is where we can create a new user or delete them. So I can change, for example, now my username and click OK. And there you go. Now it's changed. We can also change the account type. If we click here on change and enter our sudo password, we can change, for example, administrator or desktop user. So for me, this is OK and I can click OK. And we can close this up. So the name will appear also now in the login screen. So we can close the window. You can see actually our dock didn't start when we logged out. So we have to add it to the startup program. So let's go back to our control center and scroll down here to startup applications. It's not here in the list, so we need to add it. So let's click plus. We can give it a name, so I'll call it blank. And we need to go to look for the command. So let's click browse. Let's go to other locations, computer. Let's go to user, then bin. And we need to scroll down until we find blank. Here we go. So we can click this and click open. And then we can finish up by clicking add. So we can close this, close the window, and log one time out again by clicking logout. We'll see also here the results of the login screen and enter our password. And now we have blank here starting up. So we can close this up. So I'm going to open up a new terminal right here. And I want to install the last theme, which is a theme which I like very much on Mate. And this is coming also from the ArchUser repository. So I'll type in yay-s. And the theme is Chrome Materia-GTK-theme. And hit enter. Difference is to show none and hit enter. Enter our sudo password and proceed with the installation. So it's going to take a moment to download and install. And the theme is installed. So we can close the terminal, go back to our control center and go to appearance. And let's scroll down here. We have our Chrome Materia right here. So we can click this and this is how it looks like. I like this theme. It's fairly elegant and very light in colors as well. So we can close this up and close also this window. Now let's take care of our blank dock here with a little bit more themes. So where do we find blank themes? Well, let's go to our Chrome browser and maximize the window. I'm going to close this up and let's navigate to this website, github.com/unsteadyzen/blank-themes and hit enter. So we can scroll down here and we see some of the themes available to us. And it's very simple. We need to download it and put it in this folder. So let's go ahead and click download and click download zip. Now the zip file is already downloaded. So let's open up the terminal. Go to System Tool, Mate Terminal, increase the font size here. Before we can unzip the file, we need to install unzip, the utility. So let's type in sudo pacman-s and then unzip and hit enter. Enter our password and proceed with the installation, and that's installed. So let's clean up the terminal and move into the downloads directory by typing in cd and then downloads. And now we can unzip the file by typing in unzip, then a P and tab to autocomplete and hit enter. Now let's move back to the home directory. Now we can copy the content of the themes in the directory here suggested by the GitHub project. So let me move this on the side. There you go. So we can type in sudo cp-r for recursive, and it's under downloads, blank themes master, then a slash, and then everything in that directory. It's going to be copied under .local/share/blank/themes and hit enter. There you go. Now we can close the terminal and minimize the window. We can go again to the right of our plant dock here and right click and click preferences. And let's go to our themes. And now we have available to us our themes here. So we can choose, for example, anti-shade. Looks something like that. We can try also Papyrus. Looks very elegant as well. And we have also screenshots. And the last one is shade, which is also very nice. So I think I let it this way and close this up and open up the terminal again. I'm going to pin it here on the dock by right clicking and click keep in dock. And I'm going to do the same also going back to menu and control center for our control center here. So this is how the dock looks like. Now let's open up again the control center and go to screensaver. So we saw before the screensaver activated in the computer. Let's see how it looks like. And there is a neat feature I actually like in Mate. So let's lock the screen here by hitting Control Alt and L. And let's move the mouse. Now we have the unlock screen here, so we could type in our password and hit enter, and we are back in the desktop. But we have this leave message option here, which is very neat. Let's click this. Let's say maybe you are in an office and a colleague doesn't want you to send you an email or a message on the phone or whatever. He can leave you a message here on your computer. So for example, I can say, come to my desk and my name and click save. And now if I go back and enter my password, I'm going to be notified up here that somebody left me a message. So it's a very little thing, but I think it's very neat to have. So we can close this up and close also this window and close the control center. Now, the last thing I would like to show you is how you can customize your terminal. So let's pull it up and I put it here on the left and increase its font size a little. And let's go to Edit and click Profile Preferences. I'll move this over to the right. We can change the name of the profile. Right now, I'll let it as it is. Now, it's using the system default font, but we can uncheck this and use another one if we don't like the default one. So I click here. And let's say, for example, I'm looking for this source code, which is one of my favorite fonts. So we can scroll down here until we find Source Code Pro Regular. I can increase also a little bit the font size to 14 and click Select. And this is how it looks like here. We have also some options here for the menu bar if you want to allow to see it. And we have also the option for the cursor. So right now it's block, but I can go, for example, to underline. And for blinking, I'm going to go always blink. And here you see the effect. And now let's go to title and command. Here we can call our terminal the way we want to. And under colors, we can customize our color scheme. So let's check this box off because it's going to use the theme color scheme right now. I'm going to click here on the built-in schemes. And I'm going to go with gray on black. There you go. This is also a little bit easier on the eyes. We could change also the text color. If we don't like gray, we can check this box and go, for example, with this light green and click select. This is also nice. And then under background, we have the option also to use a solid color as right now an image, or we can make it also transparent. So we can pull the slider on the left to make it more transparent and on the right to make it less transparent. I'm going to have it something like so and click close. Now that we have a terminal open, the last touch we can do to give this a more arch look, we can install the arch wallpapers. So let's do this by typing in sudo pacman-s arch linux-wallpaper and hit enter. Enter the password and the wallpaper are now installed. So we can close the terminal, right click and go to change desktop background. Now we need to click on add and go to backgrounds, go into the Arch Linux folder, select them all, and click open. And now we have them up here. So one is already selected automatically, and I'll let this as a default. So we can click close, and this is how it looks like. So you can see, for example, some things are not appearing well because we didn't log out. So let's do this very quickly, and click log out here, enter a password, and now everything is displayed properly. So this is a simple way on how you can customize Mate. Mate is a very nice desktop environment. It's very fast, it doesn't need too much resources, and it's very customizable. As you've seen, you can customize this through the Arch repository, the Arch user repository, and also from the internet. If you want to download some themes, you can do so for the desktop and also for our Planck dock. So there you go. This is how you can customize the Mate desktop environment. I really like Mate. It's very flexible and very customizable. There are a lot of resources on the internet and on the Arch repository and on the Arch user repository, so you can have fun with that. Let me know also how you customize your desktop environment. I'm always curious to know which theme you like, for example, and which icon packs you like. This is gonna be the last video of desktop customization. If you wanna see some others, let me know in the comments below and I will do it. But from the next video, I'm gonna move over to window managers. I hope you liked the video, guys. If you did, please hit the like button below and subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. Subs always helps us out. And if you want to support the channel, you can do so by visiting our Patreon website, or you can donate via PayPal to our website as well. Thank you so much for watching the video, and I'll see you in the next one.